Very special guest is here, Tom Jr. He is our CEO and Chief Science Officer at Sisel. But first of all, Tom, we want to say thank you so much for taking this time out of your very busy schedule to spend some time here with us and our One Global team. So welcome to the Zoom, Tom Jr.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to be here, and I see quite a few smiling faces there today. And wherever you're at in the world, it's a great day. And we have that choice every day to make it the very best. And so I
Absolutely.
hope everyone's having a great day today or great evening, wherever you're at. And so it's a great pleasure to be on here and talk about something that I've studied for the last 3 decades, and that is better nutrition, better health. And today we're going to talk a lot about something I've studied quite a bit about, collagen. And so there's a lot of it's quite the buzzword out there
Yeah.
in the market. And yeah, with collagen, there's 28 types of collagen that we have in our body, and but there's really, to cover 95% of everything, there's three different forms of collagen. Get into Australia. This is a product that will never be able to register in Australia. And what they're telling me is I would have to have a doctor prescribe it to you. And so maybe we'll talk briefly about why that is. The collagen products in the market that you see there oftentimes are in a liquid solution. It really comes down to the quantities and the availability and the forms that are available in those just off-the-shelf products in Australia. With that being said, I'm going to let this product remain a NFR product shipped from America because it's all about getting results with Sisel products. And there's a reason why I formulated this product, because I want people to see the benefits. And so this product is obviously called our Collagen B3 because it really addresses beauty, body, and brain. And those are big topics all in their own. But collagen is, perhaps one of the greatest compounds in our body. And like I say, there's 28 different forms of that. So early on, I delved into what types of collagen do we need for specific things. And I think later in the conversation today, we're going to talk about women's health and some other products associated to help us in that area. One of the greatest things that we see even with menopause is the fact that as women age and they stop producing estrogen, well, guess what shuts down? Collagen production. In fact, everybody has the same situation, that collagen production goes down. That's one of the horrible things about aging is our hormone levels go down. And when our hormone levels go down, then we see the physical appearance of lines and wrinkles, and joints start to ache, and so much more. So not all collagen is equal. And so there's really 4 bullet points that you'll see on the screen. When I'm developing a product, I want to know what types of collagen do we need to have if we want to have better skin, better joints, better health throughout our body. Now, also, it's like having a car and an engine, but you don't have the key to start the engine. What good is it? You have to have cofactors associated with collagen, because collagen by itself, as we consume that, we need to have cofactors that signal different things in our body, enzymes and metabolites and receptors, to take the right form of collagen and put it in the right area. And so I formulate it with the cofactors that we need to get the benefit. And then obviously, what's the form? Well, the easiest form for me really is to put it in a capsule. I can't get you the volume that you need, which is the last bullet point. How much do you actually need? Well, people should be consuming at least about 12 grams of collagen daily. I mean, I think we're delivering around 22 because we're doing different types. And so you need a fairly significant amount. That would be a lot of capsules to take. Now, if you put collagen in a liquid, well, guess what? A small portion of that liquid is actually collagen. You're not getting the minimum of 12 grams of collagen that you need. You might be getting 3 or 4 tops, and it's probably only one type. And a lot of these reasons you can see why in Australia they don't want to let me sell this just off the shelf, or that they would like a doctor to prescribe it. Now, the types of collagen we have when we talk about type 1 collagen that's found in collagen B3, we're talking about collagen that is specific to skin, bones, and tendons. When we talk about type 2 that I've formulated in this, we're talking about cartilage that's found in joints. And that's a very unique form of collagen. Type 1 collagen is very different than type 2. When we're talking about collagen in our skin and other organs of our body, we're talking about type 3 collagen. And so you need to be specific in the type, just like if you're going to build a brick home, you don't need rocks, you need bricks, and vice versa. Now, collagen B3 contains all three of these types. This is a very synergistic blend of collagen protein. Now, also, I've included MCT oil in that. Why MCT oil? That's for brain. Boy, I'll tell you what, that is clean energy, and our brain will utilize that very effectively. Now, I've added hyaluronic acid to this formulation also. And hyaluronic acid is, if we think about our knee and how it pivots. Well, in there, to keep it from rubbing bone on bone, so we have a bone, then we have a cartilage interface, which is type 2 collagen, the meniscus, and the interface of the bone. But then it has fluid that it floats in there to help absorb the cushion called synovial fluid. Synovial fluid contains a very high percentage of hyaluronic acid because hyaluronic acid can hold, I mean, you can see all kinds of studies. If you want a gel, it's about 30 times, but it can hold up to 1,000 times its weight in water and hold those molecules together. In our skin, the same thing. Water is retained from the hyaluronic acid that's contained within our skin. Once again, hormone levels fall off. Guess what? So does hyaluronic acid. But we can supplement with that and put it in our diet and consume that and increase those levels. So it may not have a function in producing collagen, but it's very synergistic in the effects with especially type 2 collagen and type 3 collagen in the fact that we're trying to retain moisture, synovial fluid in joints, moisture in skin so that it's supple. Now, also, I put a mineral complex in this formulation also. Once again, these are cofactors. There's specific minerals and also vitamins that we've added, vitamin C, that create activation of enzymes. Now, enzymes are kind of like the little elves in Santa's workshop. The toys just don't make themselves. You have to have elves in Santa's shop, but you have to have enzymes in your bodies. Well, what gets them going? What motivates those elves or enzymes to produce the toys or the collagen? Well, in the case of collagen, it's vitamin C and it's minerals that activate the enzymes to take this collagen that we're ingesting and put it to use and then deliver it to the joint, the skin, wherever we need that, a tendon, a ligament. And so we've added these other ingredients to that. Cordyceps, that gives us stamina. That's great for the brain. Magnesium in the formulation obviously helps with bone. It also helps with brain. And then ginseng, that also helps us also and that's very adaptogenic in so many ways. And so here's a list of the cofactors that assist the enzymes in facilitating these biological, and there really are chemical reactions. And, enzymes can be like scissors. They can take a big protein and cut it into the different pieces that are needed to facilitate, or they can bind them together. They have active sites that bind to specific amino acid groupings or peptides. And so it's very important to have this. This is a very complex formulation when it comes to collagens. It's not something that you put on a Walmart shelf or a Costco and just hope people are going to see the word collagen and buy it. That's what unfortunately happens in the market. But this is something that's been developed and utilized, and people have benefited from it. And so, one thing here, zinc obviously activates enzymes. It has a lot of immune functions too. Copper. I find this very fascinating. There's not been a lot of research until the last 30, 40 years into copper in reproductive health. But also in collagen, I find that when you have cross-linking of collagen fibers, a lot of times, like in tendons and ligaments, there'll be parallel strands, like almost like ropes that will be put together. But the cross-linking of those is made possible by copper. And you rarely find copper in collagen formulations, but it's essential. If we look at, we always say tendons and ligaments. Well, they're very unique in what their functions are. When we have a tendon, we think of Achilles tendon. What does Achilles tendon do? You have the heel bone in the bottom of your foot, and you have your calf muscle on the back of your leg. Well, that Achilles tendon is what holds those two together. So when the muscle constricts, the foot articulates. And tendons are not very elastic. Ligaments, though, will make a bone attached to a bone, and they have more elasticity. So they're unique. It only makes sense. They're unique in how they operate, but they're also unique in what they need to repair and build and strengthen. And so when I developed this formulation, I looked at those types of collagen and cofactors so that we get these parallel bundles and strands to cross-link, and that we have vitamin C. It is impossible to create collagen in your body without vitamin C. Now, we have vitamin C in a lot of products, but guess what? Vitamin C is water soluble and it goes through your system very quickly. So I make sure that every single dose of collagen B3 has the complement of vitamin C associated with it so that when they go in your system together, collagen genesis or the production of collagen can occur, because without it, guess what? It's that car without a key. You can't turn the motor on. So we associate that also with it. And then once again, hyaluronic acid. This will make our skin plump, supple. It helps to rebuild synovial fluid, which definitely we find in joints as we become older becomes less and less. And then we get those two interfaces starting to wear. Well, they wear right through the collagen interface, type 2 collagen, and then you're bone on bone, and then you're looking at a knee replacement. Now, it's interesting with type 2 collagen, we find studies that show that it can help to repair a joint. And because of those, once again, this is the type of product that they want a doctor to prescribe. Not because there's side effects. There's no side effects. Your body's dying to have it. It's saying, please give it to me. But they want to regulate it in Australia that way. But we're going to keep shipping it to you so you have it down there. So the form, once again, powdered formulations have higher amounts typically of collagen. And I see so many of these liquid formulations out there, and reality is they'd have to be selling you 10 gallons at a time to get the volume that you need of collagen, because your body constantly is under free radical damage. We're exercising, we're stressing, we're replacing, and so we must have the material to rebuild. And since collagen is the number one protein in our body, guess what? We need a lot of it. We need a minimum of about 12 grams a day. I'm giving you I think it's about 22 grams of collagen in every dose. Now, why liquids, they might taste great. They're easy to use. That's probably the easiest way to put it. That's why you'll see a lot of these liquid formulations on on the market, but reality is they're extremely overpriced for what they are. And so beware, and look at the quantity and the types if you're looking at liquid collagen type products. Supports and rejuvenates hair, skin, nails, types 1 and 3. Something we find if you look at people in nursing homes and older populations, you'll see they get more brittle nails because collagen is the major substance that you find in nails. Collagen supplementation really helps with that. And you'll definitely notice if you're taking this collagen product that hair grows faster and nails grow faster. You'll think, boy, I just cut my fingernails a week ago, and they're longer than they were before. If you're looking for that, if you have thin nails, or if you're getting older, they're getting more brittle. That's the major component. Um, Definitely, collagen B3 is beauty within, meaning it's great to put supplements on our face. We can do that, but inside is where the body gets its nutrients to repair. Um, Not that we can't repair cellular damage topically, but we need to think beauty from within and beauty out also. And so this is a great supplementation that we can put hyaluronic on our skin, hyaluronic acid on our skin. We can help to retain moisture, but think about how many layers there are in skin, and the top two, three layers are virtually dead. We can rehydrate that, and because those skin cells dry up as they become mature over 28 days and they come to the top, we can rehydrate those and get more supple feeling skin, topical hyaluronic acid. But the new cells coming forth down at the basal layers need hyaluronic acid in our diet to supplement them. And so collagen B3 gives our skin that we need through proper nutrition. So type 2 collagen, here they have it right, supports joints and skeletal muscle. Now, type 2 collagen, I first discovered this actually for my horse, or actually my boy's horse. I have a son who is a hunter jumper, and he was number one in the state of Utah for a couple of years in high school. And
Wow.
he had a big warm blood mare that we actually had to inject its hocks because it would get stiff. And so I started to investigate type 2 collagen to see if it would, since that was the type of collagen in a hawk, if it could help block inflammation. So first I've talked about type 2 collagen is the type of collagen that a joint needs to rebuild. Here's the fascinating thing about type 2 collagen. When it's processed, and I'm going to say 99% of all type 2 collagen is processed, becomes denatured. That still has a benefit. It definitely has a benefit in rebuilding, but it's the undenatured, meaning that it doesn't go through the hydrolysis to break it up, that when it's ingested, there's a Peyer's patch in our gut. And when it detects undenatured type 2 collagen, guess what it tells our body? Pick up all that denatured and use it, put it in a joint. And not only to help rebuild, but to block inflammation. This is why this is such a powerful ingredient for joints. So there's an ELISA test that we utilize to make sure we have a ratio of denatured and undenatured type 2 collagen. Not all type 2 collagens are identical. Now, when I did this, it's been 15 years ago, for the horse, the one thing I like about my horse is he never lies to me. And so I thought, either he'll be lame or he won't be lame, but he's not going to lie to me. And so every 90 days for a couple of years, we would inject my son's horse. And then the swelling would go down, the horse could jump. I put it on just type 2 collagen with vitamin C at the time. And what I found over 3 or 4 weeks, the horse was not lame. So I went an entire year giving it type 2 collagen, both undenatured and denatured type 2 collagen, and that horse never went lame. Well, like any study, now I had to take it off. I took it off, and guess what? 4 or 5 weeks later, I had a lame horse again. And that right there told me a lot about the power of type 2 collagen. It really works. Then looking into the science of it and how it works not only in a joint, but in our gut was so impressive. And so this is a perfect product for the body component of collagen B3. Chaga mushrooms. This is interesting. If you drink Sisel coffee, you know that we have this in here. In fact, chaga is very interesting. It's virtually tasteless and odorless. It's talc fine. And I don't know if you have, I know you have gum trees in Australia, but I don't know if you have birch trees. But birch trees, I know you don't have the cold enough weather. That's really a big component of it. So birch trees, uh, Peter and Marie, they'll know this,
Yeah.
how cold Canada is in the northern regions of Canada and up in Siberia, birch trees. The dark spots are where chaga is grown. It's
Mhm.
almost parasitic on the birch tree, and it feeds off the birch tree. Well, it's harvested and then we grind this up. And actually, most of the first studies came out of Russia on this, where people were touting it for cancer and so many things. They were making it in teas and soups and ingesting it and overall health. Since that time, we find that it has the highest auric value, meaning it has the greatest potential to neutralize free radicals. And free radicals occur in our body every day. We also ingest them. We're subjected to air and sunlight, and basically that's the rusting and the breaking down of our body. And obviously, we have Spectrum Max, the most broad spectrum antioxidant out there, to help remove these. We don't want our bodies to rust away. But Chaga has the highest auric value of anything I've ever seen, the ability to do that. And it really blends well because it doesn't have a taste or an odor. It's very minimal at best. And so it blends well in coffee. Obviously, it blends well in collagen B3. One thing I do like about chaga, it does not become denatured in coffee. A lot of times with nutrients, when you have hot, you get up 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 160, 180. When you get hot like that, you denature and you change the chemistry. Chaga, that does not happen. It's a great product for that. So if you look at the bullet points, we just say it's a antioxidant superfood. Absolutely, it's super duper superfood is what it is. It's the best of the best, and it really does support the immune and the digestive system and skin health. Because we're ingesting it, now it's going systemic in our body. Once again, we have it in coffee and some other products too. But it's a great product to help neutralize free radicals that want to break down our skin. Um, Other key ingredients, organic cordyceps. Now, we didn't put a lot on this. I think many people know. My father and I brought out a product years ago called Ming Gold.
Yay.
And yeah, that was a great product. So you'll see we use cordyceps in a few products, and that goes back to the Olympics. I want to say in the late 80s or early 90s, if you remember that. And what they found, this is a parasitic mushroom that will grow on a worm, and and yaks were eating it, and in Mongolia in northern regions of China, and they were like, "What's going on with these yaks? They've got more energy, more stamina. In fact, they said they're breeding out of season." So they
Mm.
said they're acting so youthful, and so they took that and they ground it up, and what they found is it definitely increases stamina, endurance, vitality, recovery. It's really a great athletic product. And so, anyway, superior results. So I'm going to say cordyceps really falls in a lot of categories. Um, I definitely see it as brain because with that vitality, we have a better mood and everything, but it really gives us great stamina. So cordyceps are kind of an odd addition, but boy, they're powerful. So we've added that to this formulation also. MCT oil. These are medium chain triglycerides, are what that stand for. Now, many people who go on a keto diet love MCT oil because guess what? You don't have that conversion to fat like you do with simple sugars, but yet it burns like ketones in our brain because our brain is really it's kind of like a dual fuel. If we've got plenty of sugar, we've got glucose. Well, guess what? We're going to burn it. The only problem is we have too much of it, it turns into belly fat, and our body wants to store it for later date. But when we have the conversion, if we go through a starvation period or something, our bodies will naturally convert fat back into fuel. And the fuel that's given off is a ketone, and ketones don't convert back to fat. And so MCT oil burns as ketones, they are brain energy. And so this is a great complement to fuel our brains in the morning or whenever we're taking this. It's a good, clean energy. And boy, if you're trying to lose weight, I've lost, geez, I don't know, 75 pounds over the last 2 years. This is a great component that I look for in products. Even if I buy things, common food items, I like to see MCT oil in it because it's good, clean energy. A great companion product for obviously Sisel thin, but glucominish because glucominish lowers sugars in our system. In fact, I have an employee that I think purchased 17 bags because he has a family of diabetics, and the doctors are blown away that the glucominish has helped stabilize their blood sugar levels. Well, that's what it does. It helps to put that sugar through our system. And so that's probably another product that I don't think will ever get approved. Maybe in Australia, we'll try it, but once again, if it won't get approved, I'll keep selling it. We'll have to do it the NFR model, but it's a great product for that. Now, other ingredients, lecithin, and boy, there's so much research on that. People see the benefits of how it supports brain health and how it affects neurons and nerves and so much more because it contains the right types of essential fatty acids that our body's looking for. Just like collagen, it has to be the right type. Sunflower lecithin is the same thing. And there's actually a lot of good science on digestive health, but mostly in brain health with this ingredient. Now, two other ingredients. A lot of people say, what do you add L-tryptophan? Well, L-tryptophan obviously helps with sleep, it helps with mood, but collagen is a incomplete protein, meaning it lacks the amino acid L-tryptophan because our bodies can use collagens for other things too. But once again, I have to make sure that the cofactor L-tryptophan is there. So if an enzyme were to clip off a peptide, an amino acid chain off collagen, but it needs L-tryptophan, we want to make sure that it is there so it can be utilized for other things, especially in our organs, because there's other components there. So I've added L-tryptophan to this formulation also. There's many, I mean, really there's three formulations in one here when you compare this compared to so many other type of collagen products on the market. Not only do we have the quantities needed, the types needed, but we have the cofactors to help the enzymes to do their job because we're looking, in sales and marketing, we look for a need, but it's not, we look for a need and what's our goal? We want to fulfill that. But a lot of times in sales and marketing with companies, they fall short. They want to give people hope, but often it's false hope. With Sisel, I'm going to try and get you the product that you need that gives you the results that you desire. That's really what the goal is. And so this big compound is put together, and you'll find that price-wise, we're extremely competitively priced for what this product is. So once again, here we talk about what people need for basic support when we're talking about skin and hair and nails and just in skin, hair, and nails, you need, upwards of 10 grams. We talk about joint health, and I'm going to include in joint health tendons and ligaments also. We need 10 to 20 grams. And this is really because I've even had some of my suppliers say, Tom, why do you put 3 or 4 times more in there? Because nutritionally, that's what you got to have. So this is why we have so much, because the studies show these are the quantities that are needed to get the desired result. Okay, so that's the collagen B3. So
Ah,
Thank you,
I hope
Tom. Great information.
this is just so amazing. I have to go and take another dose now, right now. But there's just a few questions here. Could you tell us, Tom, what's the best time to take this product? Can we take it at night? Because there's the zinc and the copper, the magnesium. Would that help to sleep as well? Or is it something we can take at night?
Good. So I have a morning ritual, I have an afternoon ritual, and I have a night ritual.
Let's hear
So
it.
at night is when I take my collagen B3 and I mix the colostrum with it. And
Oh,
so I have no problem sleeping with that. My afternoon, I do my enzymes, my pre and probiotics. I do my Sisel ripped. I do my glucominish with that. And then the morning's the big one. I mean, I have those little boxes that you put multiples in with everything. In the morning, I start with that. And so there's really not but the collagen could be taken whenever throughout the day. We have people that like to put it in coffee, and we have people who will take it as a meal replacement. Now, one thing about it, it's not a proper meal replacement per se, but it definitely can go along as a diet product with that because it's not the types of proteins that we're looking for muscle. Um, and so whey protein is definitely the best for a meal replacement, like Sizzling. And so, yeah, so your short answer is, yeah, you can take this whenever you want throughout the day.
okay. Wow. Thank you. I've got it right here beside. And Tom, I just remember when we visited you, when we just started in April, and you told us a
Yep.
little bit about this, but we had so much to learn about all of the different amazing product. I mean, we still need to learn so much. But one thing that I remember that you said to me, you said, I supply the collagen and you supply the water.
That was it. I'll give you everything you need. That's right. Because
Yeah,
you're
I'll
right.
remember that.
Yeah, liquid collagen products, you're paying a lot. You're paying 95% freight on water, and you're getting very little collagen in those products, and you don't get the cofactors either. And usually they don't want to, they want to sell you a large volume, but very little. It's kind of like waving a chicken over a pot of soup and saying that's chicken soup. That's not chicken soup. Put the chicken in it.
Okay. Wow. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I think that, like there I saw all the people taking so many notes.